Опять заплатил 100 тысяч за курс? Стоп. Знакомься. ssl.band. Здесь курсы инфо-цыган сливаются бесплатно. Бизнес, психология, шитье, кулинария, фитнес, языки, десятки тысяч материалов. От школьника до пенсионера найдется все. Без VPN. Без ограничений. Один платеж. И доступ навсегда. Уже сотни тысяч умных людей качают премиум знания за копейки. Заходи на ssl.band, регистрируйся за 30 секунд и забирай все. Этот курс ты уже скачал отсюда. Представь, что там еще есть.
Now, what I'm going to present to you is not going to be a method. It's going to be truth. When you start understanding that you manifest your shit, you want to start having accountability. Now, it might seem a little stupid, but this thing that you're going to do, and this is a lifetime thing, it's going to aid you into taking accountability. And with accountability comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes the awareness that you cannot be afraid of anything. So in this case, how do you do it? Well, you become aware every time you are interacting with your 3D, and thoughts such as they did this, they did that. You're going to take accountability and responsibility over everything that's happening in your reality. So instead of saying they did this, they said that, I created them to make this. I made them do this. I created them. Now, I don't want you to use this as an excuse to overanalyze or to blame yourself or to find yourself at fault for what happened. You didn't know better. I'm telling you this so that you can take your power back and understand that you're creating this. When it's raining outside, you will start talking and having the speech and conversation of someone that knows is in charge. Oh, look, I created rain, so I can uncreate it and create sunny days. So it's always about being aware of the fact that I created this. It translates automatically by default. I can uncreate it. So when you're describing your specific puppet to yourself or to others, when you're describing your money situation, your health situation, you're going to use words that are going to put you in the place of power. Words that are meant to remind you of who you really are. So instead of saying, I'm sick, anxiety bothers me, I created anxiety. Oh, no big deal. I'm going to uncreate it. Can you see how much power resides in all this conversation, in all this way of speaking, in this attitude? So you're going to watch your mouth, okay? You're no longer going to give credit to the outside world for what it is. And here comes another thing that I want to say. You're going to elevate yourself to the highest status that there is. You're not even going to entertain the idea that you could beg or chase something. You would be like this sassy, arrogant bitch, like this cocky idea. So you're going to be cocky. You're going to be exaggerating in the cockiness that you're going to have. Okay, it's not even a word, cockiness, who cares? So you are going to be beyond cocky. Examples. Of course she wants me. Why wouldn't she want me? Of course she does. You're going to be like, like those birds that are like this. And you're going to say, of course, I'm the best. Of course. I'm the most privileged VIP person, because you are. Without you, the 3D wouldn't exist. Your specific puppet wouldn't exist. They wouldn't have life. You breathe life into them. So view yourself so highly, because you are. Whatever your specific person does, specific puppet does, it's all your creation. Okay? So they are not to be praised for their looks because you created them to be that. They're not to be praised for their money. You created them to be that. So elevate yourself because you are indeed, okay? Watch your speech. Talk in a way that brings you to the awareness that I created this. Okay, look what I created for myself. That's it. You're going to take accountability. You're a grown-ass person. You're not going to be a child anymore. And based on the car seat methods, if you've been your whole life a child, look at yourself. You're a grown-up. You've ceased to be a child, and I'm talking about the energetic child that the parents take by the hand and drag him to do something against their will. You're not a child commanded by anything anymore. Take responsibility and start behaving as the fucking grown-up that you are. Getting to more serious conversation, every time you desire something, there is a specific version of your specific puppet ready to fulfill your desire, but you have to allow yourself to see that. So I don't care if yesterday they told you they didn't want you, or for a month or for 2 years you were in no contact. The moment you decide and you allow yourself to have what it is that you want, they will appear out of thin air, because for every command there is a version able to do what you want. If you find yourself entertaining mental conversations with versions of them that you don't want, then stop yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing? As long as I'm going to treat and I'm going to engage mentally with this kind of version, well, I'm keeping it alive. I'm not putting it to sleep. So if it were two brothers, right, the good brother and the bad brother, and you keep entertaining the bad brother and you don't allow it to sleep, how the fuck is the good brother going to show up and present you with what you want? Well, you're keeping the bad brother awake. Let it go to sleep. Let it rest. You don't want that anyways. So don't entertain it in your conversation, because whatever circumstance you think you're dealing with, the moment the circumstance is consumed in the 3D, it's the moment it already died. So the circumstance dies in the instant that it showed up. For example, I was at that bench. Yes, so I was at that bench. As long as I am here, the bench is alive. I turn my attention away. The bench is already dead. It's dead. It's not alive anymore. It will be alive the moment that I put my focus on. Do I decide the bench is blue? It's going to show up blue the next time. So it already died. It's already dead. You are dealing with dead circumstances. They already died. So this goes for the situations where you might ask yourself, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong to upset my specific puppet? Even if you did, the moment you said it, it died. So by entertaining it, you're keeping it alive. You pump life into it. But the circumstance was dead. Let's say for example, it happened 5 days ago, 5 hours ago. It died 5 hours ago. The moment it happened, it died. Think of it like a final breath, like it's consumed and then it's dead already. Now, another example that I did give my clients, and it's a funny one, it will make you reconsider your decision to dwell in old circumstances. Imagine your circumstances being your food, and every day you eat your food. Well, the food, once it's consumed, aka the circumstance, it becomes poop, right? It becomes shit. It becomes poop. And you eating You consuming, worrying about, dwelling in yesterday's circumstance is like you are eating your own poop instead of eating a new food. So don't eat your own poop. It already became poop. The circumstance already became poop. There's no sense in dwelling it in anymore. It's already dead. There's no sense in overthinking it. It's new. Every second is new. Every second of your life is a white canvas. You draw there what you want. First, you draw yourself as how you perceive yourself. And based on how you perceive yourself, you draw your life experiences. The story that you held with your specific puppet for years, it was already dead. It was already a white piece of canvas. But unfortunately, you were drawing the same thing over and over and over again. You never changed the pattern. You drew the same thing. It went white, you drew the same thing again. And then it went white again, and then you drew the same thing again. So, your specific puppet doesn't need a process to change. They don't need time to change or to go through trauma bullshit or something. You don't need time to change. You're new every second. The moment you realize this, it's going to make a shift that you never thought could be possible. You're going to make an instant shift, and everything around you will change, because if you change, when you change, everything changes. It has to prove you right. So you have a new opportunity. It doesn't matter if you've been trying to manifest money or health or specific puppets for so many years. Every second is new. Now, how are you going to use it? This is the big question. I suggest you use it in your favor, don't you? Fundamental principle number 3, and the last fundamental element. So how do you behave in your 3D? While you are deciding what you want, getting it, and blah blah, with your head held up high, you interact with your 3D the same way a boss interacts with his company, the same way God interacts with his creation. You interact with it from the authoritative place of knowing you are in charge. Guys, if you do this course right, you are going to have the most wonderful life you ever had. You're going to be able to manifest it out of thin air, instantly, okay? And it all ties up to step number 2, which is the most important step of all steps. Doing reverse engineer, reminding yourself, having the anchors, and not being afraid of the 3D anymore. There's nothing to guess. There wasn't anything to guess anymore. You're in charge. There's nothing to guess. You guess. You're the one guessing. You're the one that the 3D has to guess. Okay? The 3D awaits for your command. There's nothing to guess. The 3D is not predetermined. It's predetermined as in creation is already finished and everything already exists, and you can encounter someone being fought with in the street, or someone being on the television doing something, but not in your personal experience. Okay, because what you're doing here, you're going to determine your personal experience, what you're going to allow to happen to you or not. And it never happens to you, it happens through you, but what you're going to allow yourself to experience. Okay, so as long as you don't settle for experiences that you don't like, you're never going to have those experiences. Your whole perspective will change. You will zoom out of life. You will zoom out of the circumstance, and you will start viewing the big picture with a presumption and with the assumption that everything works out in your favor, because it does. It always did. Even the unpleasant circumstances that you once created were still aiding you reaching a point where you never thought you would. So don't doubt the bridge of incidents. You are the bridge of incidents. Don't micromanage. Be yourself. Be authentic. Simply by desiring something, it's enough. It's enough for it to manifest. That's how you reached until now, that your desire to live, it's what keeps your breath every second. Your desire to live, it's what keeps your heart beating. With a simple desire, imagine having to affirm or consciously manifest your breath. By autopilot, you are protected. Start viewing your 3D as protecting you, as adoring you, because they are. It is. Your 3D is protecting you. No one is here to harm you. You're not here to be guessing. You're not here to be doubting. Even doubts and worries are your creation, are still working in your favor. They are parts of you. They are fragments of you. So have unconditional love towards your elements, not in the way of, oh, I love you so much. No. Unconditional love means something totally different. Unconditional love means accepting the fact that they are your creation, they are your babies, so they cannot possibly hurt you. The moment you say something, the moment you demand something, it has to change. The 3D cannot provide you with something that you no longer want. Okay? This is it.
Опять заплатил 100 тысяч за курс? Стоп. Знакомься. ssl.band. Здесь курсы инфо-цыган сливаются бесплатно. Бизнес, психология, шитье, кулинария, фитнес, языки, десятки тысяч материалов. От школьника до пенсионера найдется все. Без VPN. Без ограничений. Один платеж. И доступ навсегда. Уже сотни тысяч умных людей качают премиум знания за копейки. Заходи на ssl.band, регистрируйся за 30 секунд и забирай все. Этот курс ты уже скачал отсюда. Представь, что там еще есть.